Oh yes, this is pinakbet, or to make it short, pakbet, a very famous Filipino vegetable dish. So these are the ingredients, but in different regions in the Philippines, they use different ingredients. Take for example squash. For other people, they use sweet potatoes. Like Ilonggos, we like using sweet potatoes. But since this is the request of my boyfriend and he is Tagalog, so he preferred kalabasa or squash. Now you know the basics already, right? The three starters of every dish, like the onions, the tomatoes, and the garlic. They will always be the first ones to be sauteed. And then I separated the onions because they are clumping together. And after sauteing it for like 2 minutes, I added some pepper and salt with a measurement. It was like a teaspoon of pepper and a teaspoon of salt. Why a little too much? If you consider it too much, well, simply because it's a big dish. We have lots of vegetables, and it will be the only time that I'll be putting the pepper and the salt. The next time I won't be doing it anymore, so I put in a lot already. Also, it adds flavor not only to the pork or the vegetables, but even to the starters like the onions, the tomatoes. It already has a good flavor. And then I chose pork because of the fat, so it adds another flavorful twist to the vegetables. But I also tried fish. It's also delicious. So anyway, I use whatever ingredients I have, and then I leave it for like 10 minutes because I want the pork to be soft. And then the secret ingredient is this, the fish sauce, or in my language it's like patis, because it adds a very good flavor to the whole dish. And then after that one, it's a little dry, so I put some water, and it also helps, right, the pork to be soft. And then I changed the container because we will be needing a bigger one because of the vegetables. So the first ingredients are sitaw, the beans, and the gourd. I use the green one. We call it ampalaya. And I also put some sauteed shrimps. I couldn't find sauteed fish, so yeah, it works anyway. Also, I followed it with squash or kalabasa. Actually, for us Ilonggos, we use sweet potatoes, but anyway, this one, if you want to try, is also very good. And then I also add okra and green chili. So I tried putting the chili at the bottom so that it will give the dish a spicy flavor. But you know what, when we mix this one, we have to be very careful because we don't want the vegetables to look messy, and of course we want our presentation to look good, right? Very appetizing. So the skin, by the way, I just kept the skin of the squash because the squash here in Taiwan is a little soft when you cook it, so it looks messy, right, if you get rid of the skin. Anyway, I don't eat the skin when it's cooked, so it's just for the presentation purpose. And then you can do your taste test. If you think it's not yet enough, then you can always add some seasonings, but in this case I'm already good. So voila, this is the finished product. So happy weekend, and let's enjoy eating pinakbet.